Yo, what up? Welcome to Mo Boxing No Problem. I am Jose Martinez Jr. And today I'm joined with a special guest. We got TJ from the Boxing Syndicate. What up, TJ?
What's up, man? How you doing today?
Man, doing good. Thanks for making the time to join me and talking about this Daniel Jacobs versus John Ryder fight.
Oh yeah, for sure, bro. Yeah, and then we been going back and forth on Instagram for a
Yeah.
minute. Just before the DM, just liking each other's stuff, just like it's two up and coming pages. So I appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely, man. We got to support each other, show love to other boxing pages.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I know we both missed this fight live because it's the UK time.
The UK time messed me up. I forgot it was in the UK, so it came on at like 3:30ish, 4 o'clock. I'm like, I did not even remember at all. So I went ahead and rewatched it the other day. Then I actually watched like some highlights of it again just before we got on. So I got a little glimpse of it.
Nice. Yeah, I know when I did the prediction video, I was thinking John Ryder was going to win comfortably because he gave Callum Smith such a tough fight. And Callum Smith, was dominating the 168-pound division for a while before Canelo came in there.
Yeah. And he actually lasted a minute before Canelo took him out, too. So.
Yeah, and he went the distance. I think out of all the champions Canelo fought, Callum Smith's the only one that actually went all 12 rounds.
Yeah, so I mean, he actually,
So, I was quite surprised with Jacobs' performance. I thought, he had already kind of been in his toughest fights, and I wasn't liking how he looked against Chavez Jr. and Gabe Rosado. But I saw the first half, and I was like, man, maybe Jacobs still has some more miles on him. He was ahead. He was ahead.
And then off a layoff, I don't think he's been in the ring for about maybe a year.
Yeah, I think it was like 15 months since the last time he was on the ring. So it was a minute.
So you would think he had some ring rust or something, and you know what I mean. But when I was watching, the first few rounds, he didn't look bad. You know what I mean? I thought Ryder started actually coming alive like 6, 7, 8. And Jacobs was actually kind of handling business those beginning rounds, so he didn't look bad at all.
No, he looked good, and I think when the commentators said why someone like Daniel Jacobs would go to the UK, if it was just for the kind of the paycheck, if he thought John Ryder was an easy fight, and for the first 6 rounds, it was an easy fight. I thought he was winning comfortably. But
and then once you said the first 6 rounds, then round 7, 8 came. That's from Ryder being a little bit more aggressive. That's when he started hitting him with some good shots, and I'm like, okay, now it's starting to even out a little bit. And it could have went both ways. The decision, it could have went both ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it could have gone both ways. I know, I got spoiled by the result before I watched it, so I saw that Ryder had won it. So I went into the fight looking for rounds for Ryder. And I scored it a draw. I gave I
was going to say that too. I wouldn't have been mad at a draw. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. So, I mean, either way, I don't, where does Jacobs go from here? Does he stay in and keep fighting, or does he retire?
I don't know, man. I mean, what if he's going to stay at 168? I mean, what more can you do? I mean, you fought Canelo. I mean, obviously it didn't go your way. That's the top guy right now in the division. I mean, you could still fight some of these other guys in the division. It wouldn't be a problem, but it's just like, does he still think he has it is my thing. I don't know. Yeah. Especially after this loss. I know it's going to bother him a little bit, you know what I mean? Especially, a close fight. He probably thought he should have won. I know it's going to bother him a little bit, but at the same aspect, he probably thought he should have won. He maybe thinks he still has a little bit left in the tank too. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. I think he can definitely get at least 2 or 3 more fights in before he calls it a career for sure.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, he definitely has a name. He has a name for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and
that's a resume.
He could be I hate using this word, but a gatekeeper. A lot of
those guys that the prospects come, that the up and coming, prospects come to fight. That'd be a good fight for those up and coming guys. You know what I mean? He's been in the ring with the best. He might be on the older side of things, but I mean. He's boxing old. He's not really that old.
No. So and like you said, he showed flashes of the old Daniel Jacobs that gave Triple G problems. Like, he looked good.
Right.
So maybe some of these big names from 168, from 160, they're going to be moving up. Like, Charlo's been hinting and moving up. Mm-hmm. Andrade's been hinting and moving up. Maybe he fights them.
Yeah, I think that'd be. Those are some guys, though. I mean, if he wants to step in the ring with some of those young boys like that, like Charlo and Boo Boo, I mean, more power to him. But I don't know how that's going to play. I mean, if he just wants to test his skills, though, see if he still has it. And then if anything can happen. If he wins, then, hey, maybe he does get another shot at a title or something down the line. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I think, who's the other guy at 168 that has a pound, like the secondary title? Is it David Morrell Jr.?
David Morrell.
I think he has like the secondary for the WBA, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm not sure.
No. But I think he's like a Cuban boxer. But I think that's like, otherwise it's Canelo or him, because Canelo has all the other ones. So I don't think Canelo gives him a shot. He's kind of, his mindset's now on Charlo, Bibble, Triple G, Trilogy, that business. So we'll see. And maybe Boo Boo will be interesting. Because
I was just talking about I was talking to my buddy about that last night when we were watching the game. I'm like, Bibble is no joke, bro. Like, I'm not gonna say he's gonna go in there and dominate Canelo. We all know what Canelo can do. But I think he's gonna hand him a good fight. You know what I mean? It's not gonna be a walk in the park.
Oh, for sure. So
then,
now,
like, somebody like Cameron Smith goes the distance. What is the Bivol gonna do? You know what I mean?
Right. Carries a lot more weight in that punch.
Yeah.
Sweet. So now let's talk about the winner, John Ryder. Where does he go from here?
I actually just saw something that said, they had a couple guys at the bottom, like, who should he fight next? And I seen Boo Boo was on there, Andrade was on there, and a couple other guys. Maybe it was Charlo as well. Mm-hmm. And I don't know who the other guy was, but that's a good question too. I wouldn't mind the Boo Boo Andrade fight. He's been begging for somebody to fight him for, ever. So, and that's a good opponent. He just beat the game, Daniel Jacobs. So, I mean, I think that's a good opponent for him. But I also seen something that David Benavidez would be interested in fighting Andrade too. So, I mean, that'd be a dope fight too. But I don't know. It always seems that something always happens with Boo Boo. You know what I mean? In terms of him getting the fights he wants. So, I mean, the Benavidez is obviously the big money fight for him. But if not, I mean, a John Ryder would be a good fight, and he looked really good against Daniel Jacobs. You know what I mean? So,
especially that second half, like he brought the pressure, hit him with them uppercuts, snapping his head back with the jab. Yeah, he looked good. So yeah, maybe Ryder, Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade could be that play. David Benavidez is out there, but he's kind of the boogeyman right now. 68.
I don't think nobody wants to fight him either.
Nah, man, he's a monster. He's low risk.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, I seen something that might not happen because one of them are asking for like $7+ million. It's like, they want to get paid if they're going to take that risk. Like taking that L. Today's boxing, if you got an L, it's like it's like the end of the world almost. You know what I mean? If you got that one loss, you know what I mean. So unless you're like a Lomachenko or somebody like that. It's like, don't nobody want to take that L. They don't want to take any risks with fighting the big guys. That's why we're not getting the fights we want now.
Yeah. And, funny you mentioned Loma, because I think he learned a lot from that loss against Alito. Like, too. Because that was the first time he fought like someone that had more like 30 tactics, more up close and personal. He started using that in his next fights. Yeah. And took him to the next level. Same thing with like Canelo when he got schooled by Mayweather. Yeah. You started seeing hints of Mayweather in his next fights.
Yeah, just kind of using, using what happened against them. You know what I mean? Yeah. And like you said against Loma, like he saw some things in Teofimo that he came out in Comey and just kind of blew him out the water. Just like a straight dominant fashion. So I think he learned a lot, from the Teo fight too. And I think, honestly, if it was a rematch, I think Loma might get the rematch. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah,
and I want to see how Teofimo is going to bounce back anyway after the Gambosis loss too. So I want to see, you know what I mean. Maybe he takes a Loma fight. But I know Loma's everybody's trying to get at Gambosis now. But
hey, it's the ticket.
Yeah, it's the money it's the payday and get all the belts. I know everybody's trying to get at him right now anyway. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing a rematch against those guys.
That's what's up, man. No, I mean, a lot of the divisions right now in boxing are just buzzing. They're hot. So
man, a lot of them, especially like that lightweight division. You got Tank, you got Loma, you got Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, all those guys. So it's a matter of time. They're gonna all have to fight each other one day. Like, it's just a matter of time. They're gonna have to fight eventually. You know what I mean? I think it's a lot, to do with the ego, and then obviously, like I was talking about a little earlier, nobody wants to take an L. You know what I mean? So.
Talking about taking an L, what do you think about Caleb Plant against Jacobs or Ryder?
Caleb Plant against Jacobs or Ryder? I like Caleb Plant's style. I've been a Caleb Plant fan a long time. I really like his style. Like he uses the shoulder roll a lot. Like he gives me you know what I mean? Not glimpses of Floyd Mayweather, but just that style of you know what I mean? So I really like his
slick.
Style. Yeah, slick. That's what I was saying. I'm like, obviously not Floyd, but he's real, he's slick like that. And I like him. So against a John Ryder, I think that works. I think he can probably get him in a decision. I thought he looked really, really good against Canelo too. But,
Oh, he did for sure.
Obviously, into those later rounds, I think he just started getting tired, and then obviously that's when Canelo's about to work. You know what I mean? He's about to just attack on that. But I think he looked really good on that. And then I think after guys fight Canelo, I think they get a boost of confidence even after they take an L. I think it's a boost of confidence there that, you know what I mean, if I can last with this guy for however many rounds, the next guy shouldn't be that bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Against a John Ryder or Jacobs, I like the John Ryder fight because I like how aggressive John Ryder is, man. I like what I just saw against Jacobs. I like how aggressive he is. I think that'll pose a problem for Plant. For him and Jacobs, I think that'd be a tight one. I think that'd go
like a chess match.
Yeah, I think that'd be a tight one. Just because, you know, their styles of fighting. I think it's just they're going to try to pick each other apart, stay behind that jab. So I think that's what, you know what I mean? That's how I picture to envision that happening. Like
both looking for that counter. Yeah, they're both looking for the counter. It's like, who's going to throw first?
Right, exactly.
Sweet, man. Well, I mean, that's all I had on the Jacobs Ryder fight. You got any more closing comments on that one?
Not really. Where you from, man?
Oh, man. So me, I'm from the Bay Area. So I'm from the San Francisco, California.
Oh, Cali. Okay. Sweet,
Cali. Sweet. And I know you're from Detroit, Michigan, right?
Yeah, Detroit. Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
All the way across the damn country, man. That's just what got you into podcasting? Because, you know, obviously I want to start one up too. And like, how did you get started?
I was actually some high school friends of mine during the kind of pandemic. They wanted to start a podcast last year, going over like current events. So we just started kind of recording, and it mostly was supposed to be like us just having a conversation. And we just added kind of some structures, and we started getting good feedback on Instagram. Other people wanted to collab, and it just grew from there. And it kind of gave me the confidence to start my own boxing page. I was like, let me, you know, boxing's been a passion for me. Like it's like the only sport I watch nowadays.
Yeah, like I've been a fight fan like since I was a kid. You know, I mean, watching UFC, watching, you know, obviously Floyd Mayweather. You know, growing up and stuff like that. So this is kind of like one of those jumping out my comfort zone things too. Like I've been wanting to do it for a minute, and then I just kind of just start. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it was kind of one of those things, just kind of jump out my comfort zone and try to, I want to, you know, do like, you know what I mean? You inspire me too, bro. Like just get out my comfort zone and like really start it up and do it. You know what I mean? So I really thank you for having me on, for real, bro.
No worries, man. Tell people where they can find you.
Oh, yeah, for sure. You guys can follow me on the Boxing Syndicate. That's on Instagram. Then we actually started up, I made a YouTube page. I haven't got anything on there yet, obviously, but it's going to be Boxing Unfiltered. We're going to try to just bring on guys and just have an unfiltered conversation about some fights going on, what's happening in the boxing world. You know what I mean? We're going to, you know what I mean? I just wanted to be a fun conversation. You can cuss a little bit. You can have drinking. That's why it's unfiltered. We just want to speak our minds about it. You know what I mean? And I think that's going to be a really good one, you know, once we get the ball rolling on that. But yeah, man, you guys follow me, please. I appreciate you guys for having me on. Jose, I really do appreciate it, bro.
Thank you, man. Well, your project sounds dope. Can't wait for that to kick off. And in the meantime, everybody go follow him on Instagram. And thanks for making the time to talk about Jacobs and Ryder.
Oh, yeah, for sure, bro. I'm looking forward to the next one, too, man.
Yeah, more boxing.
Oh, yeah, for sure, bro. Have a good one, bro.
You too. Have a good one. Later.